Please put your hands together to have Ron share about his club.
Thank you, Division Director Srinivas, for inviting Money Mastery to share a few things about Money Mastery. We are indeed very privileged to be invited here. So there are three topics that Sri would like me to cover. That is the first one, how the club achieved them. The second one will be, what are the strengths that the club has? And the third one is, what are the challenges the club faced and how we solve them. So for the first one, which is how the club achieved them. First of all, I would say that Money Mastery, since the day I joined, I was being introduced to a very strong culture. And to have that culture sustain until today, there is one very prominent leader that we have to thank, which is the late distinguished Toastmaster Francis Ng. He was a founding member, he was the past president, and also he was the one that was with the club until the final day of his life. He was the one that laid the foundation of how this club should be run. And throughout the years, we only follow the philosophy or the method that been laid by him to follow through. So the second thing, how this culture has helped us, which is our club success plan. In the beginning of the term, when the new ESCO took office, the immediate task for the ESCO would be to spend painstaking hours coming up with the club success plan. What are the new vision according to the needs of the club? What are the new direction? Who are we targeting to achieve the goals for the club? So these are all laid out upfront in the beginning of the term. And the third one would be to have the major events of the club booked ahead of the calendar year, which is ABM, Annual Business Meeting, contest date, and also the TI collection. So in the beginning, as you ask me why I know this, because from the day you have to take office, you already been installed with this software in your mind to do this. Yeah. So this is, I think, a strength of Money Mastery, that's why we can always pay the dues on time. We have our ABM on time, and also we also have a fixed contest date, which is usually the first month. The first meeting in January and the first meeting in July. As simple as that. Regardless which year, always first meeting in January, first meeting in July. That's it. The second topic to cover is that what are the strengths that the club has? Money Mastery, if you have ever visited us, you saw a lot of very senior members. Yes, senior members is one of our strengths. In our club, we have 2/3 of retaining members. That means we have a strength of about 30 members to 30 plus, but every term we have 2/3 members staying on with us. And out of these 2/3 members, half of them are actually members of more than 5 years. In fact, we have members of 15 years, 10 years and above. So these members, they are not only serving the club, they are still coming back and give guidance to us. That is why the culture of the club still can be preserved until today. The second thing is the mentorship that we implement. We have a mentor chair. It's not an official ESCO role, but it's a very important role. Mentor chair, whenever there's a new member, he will look for the suitable senior members to be assigned to the member to guide the new members in his Toastmaster journey. So that will help the new member not to be lonely, and they know what is planned ahead what is planned for them. And the third thing, I will still stress back to the culture that we have. Because as you know, Money Mastery, we have an unspoken rules is that we don't rotate presidents. That's to say, once they are president, yeah, They cannot be rotated, recycled back as a president in next time, whatever the reason. So this president, they don't just relinquish their responsibilities immediately after their term is over. They will still stay on, guide the new ESCOs. They are actually the navigator for the new ESCO team. They actually lay out and tell what the new ESCO should be done in order for the new ESCO to pick up their tasks, pick up their responsibilities, and make sure that they are on track on that. Then only the president see if the president the immediate past president feels that the ESCO has been independent enough, then he can choose to let go. But the fundamental thing is that he will never let go immediately. So this is a thing that we appreciate our immediate past president as well as the past presidents. On top of that, we also have an official role, which is a club officer. Club advisor. Club advisor, usually he is someone who already have a better exposure in the Toastmasters movement's leadership role. For example, an ex-district officer. So he will be able to tell us even better how a club should be governed, run, and organized. So that are the things that we lay out as a foundation of our club. Finally, the third thing is that the challenges in my club. Well, of course, we also face challenges, although the excellent results. The reason being, we also struggled in a few years back that we're struggling with the membership. How finally in these 2 years that we saw a positive growth of our membership back. That means we can achieve the 8 new membership goals again. How do we do that? Recently, when we found guests who visited our club, we asked them, hey, what brings you to our club? In fact, you know what they told us? They say they actually sent a few inquiries to other clubs, but only our club responded. So with that, I think, oh wow, are we so lucky? Because they are already a pre-qualified member to you. They already choose the best day that they can attend meeting. They already choose the best location that they can attend meeting, and yet no one responds to them. So I would urge you to look back on the strategy that you approach the new inquiries. And the second thing is that we keep our blog updated, our Facebook pages updated. So when there's an inquiry sent in and we already have an initial contact with them, the first thing that we can invite them before the meeting date comes is that ask them to visit our blog or our Facebook pages. Usually those pages and those Facebook blogs, blogs and Facebook will serve as a bulletin, as a thing that you need to tell, or something that you actually already start impressing the new guest to visit you. He's become more keen to visit you. So I think that's the thing that we have and approaches that we have taken for our club to be what we are today. In fact, I'm just a member of 5 years, although the club already been running for 15 years. I just covered 1/3 of the history, and I just become very active in the just recent 3 years. So I would say this is not an effort of a single person, but an effort contributed by all the committed ESCOs and as well as the members. So with that, I would like to hand it over back to the division director.